running brick and mortar businesses, internet businesses, getting to be the best of both, and understanding how your internet image affects you. All of that on Three Questions with Ritu Grover. But first, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And while you do, ding the bell so that you're invited to every premiere that we have here. Hello, everybody, and today we are delighted to have Ritu Grover with us. Ritu is the founder and chairperson of a facilities management company all over the country, and she's also an author, mentor, speaker, and coach. Not only that, she's an internet influencer of high repute, like the million followers type of things, views, and all that stuff. And it's awesome. Ritu, how can anybody, especially nowadays that people are looking for options to do things alongside their work and business, and they're so inundated with what's going on and worried stiff, how do you get to set up things on the internet, coach people, do all that, and run a profitable business?
Well, Sandeep, I have a lot of time on my hands, and I have 24 hours to do what I really want to do. And, I have a profession which I'm in love with, and I have this passion with which I'm in love with. And for a lot many years, I was busy bringing up my one child, that is my profession. And I've done that with the best of my abilities. I had a lot of time. In fact, I've been on it for the last 22 years. And now that I had done that, I wanted to give back to the society. In fact, my entire entrepreneurial journey spans over 32 years now. And 5 years back, I decided to give back to the society. And what better way than to, actually give them some kind of mentoring, coaching of the things that I had learned along the way. And I've had a lot of ups and downs, and I've been on a couple of the best roller coasters of the world. So having done it all, I wanted to share my journey. And then I realized that was I capable of even delivering something to the people, because I didn't know how public speaking was done. And then I took a course on public speaking with Mr. Sam Cawthon. He's an Australian coach, very well known in public speaking. And I did a 1-year boot camp with him. And then I joined organizations such as Speakers Tribe and Professional Speakers Association. And I'm still a student. I'm learning, and I will always be a student all my life. And that's when I decided that if I have learned public speaking, then what next is, then I wanted to author a book. And so I've been basically throughout my entrepreneurial journey, I've been an operations person, and I've started a few businesses, and I felt I was good at optimization and productivity. And I wrote a business book which is called Thank God It's Monday. It's just about to be launched.
So, catchy name.
Yeah, thank you. So that is about my passion. And one thing that I would also like to convey to all our listeners is that, once we finish college or once we become graduates, we stop learning because we think that we've learned it all. And that was, in fact, we have a sigh of relief that ab padhai khatam. But I feel that's the biggest lie that we tell ourselves. In fact, padhai shuru hi tabhi hoti hai. Once, because till school and college, I think is just, a kind of a enjoyable time that we all have. Right. And the real study, the real empowering ourselves, investing in ourselves starts beyond college.
Wow.
And that's the message I now want to spread to all the youngsters. And but that knowledge came to me pretty late. But yet, once I realized it, I had a business coach for myself. Because if I had to follow my passion, like I said, I also have 24 hours, the same time as everybody. I had to put my business on autopilot. And then I had to have a business coach for that. I learned all the tips, tricks, strategies, everything that I could to put my business on autopilot. Until that time, I was too much into the business, and I wanted to jump in everywhere, in front of the clients, in front of the employees, everywhere, whether it was marketing, sales, accounting, I had to be there. But then I realized business could run better without me, and I stepped aside, and now business is running as usual, and I am getting more time to spend on the stuff that I'm more passionate about, like public speaking, writing books. I've already written one book. I've co-authored one book which is called Make a Difference, that is along with my uh, co-authors from the Speakers Tribe, authors
Mhm.
from Singapore, Australia, India. And my second book, thank God it's Monday, is on the way. And I'm about to start writing my third book now. And then
Fantastic.
2020 came, the best year of my life. That was when we were all stuck with the COVID syndrome. And I had lots of time on my hands. And that's when I started working full heartedly on my social media.
Yeah,
And
that recently.
started, yeah. See, the digital platforms need to be optimized. We need to put time for that. So whether I had time in the early mornings or late nights, I started working on Instagram, LinkedIn, and that's how. And one thing that digital platforms expect from you is consistency. So if you're there out with consistency, you will definitely make a mark sooner or later. So
Wow.
that's how I find time for both my profession and passion.
That's awesome. That's some serious golden nuggets out there, viewers. If you got that, I love the way she was using the word love right at the beginning, and the concept of time doesn't exist. In fact, I often say this myself, Ritu, that time is something outside of you. It doesn't know that you exist. It was there before you. It's going to be there after you. So you can't manage
Absolutely.
anything external. All you can manage is what's internal, and that's your energy, and you're managing that so beautifully because you're fueling your energy, guys, with love. You're fueling it with learning. You're fueling it with knowing that age is no bar, experience is no bar. Just 1 year on the internet, and so much stuff you've done on Instagram, and wow. And I always thought that Instagram is for those people who are in their 20s right now and stuff like that. Excellent. So let me take that straight into the second question, because I find that a lot of the recruiters, and you have been a recruiter, you are a recruiter, also running a company, but in the corporate sector, your clients and all, they are also now referring to people's social media profiles as they get them in, and I'm wondering whether that's the right thing, because people tend to be a little rash or a little natural on Instagram, let's say, not stuff that they want their employers or prospective employers to necessarily see. What's
Yeah.
your take on this?
Lovely question, Sandeep. But from my perspective, I think that there are two things to a person: attitude and aptitude. Aptitude can be gained. You can always gain a few degrees, diplomas. You can gain knowledge, but attitude is something you can't get. It's inbuilt. It's your conditioning, and
Mm-hmm.
that actually comes out more often than not on the social media. And yes, recruiters are looking at both aptitude and attitude, and they're looking at what kind of responsible post. I mean, they're looking at your personal side as well, because that's very important. And one thing in hiring that we always look at, as hiring as an iceberg, and
Mm-hmm.
only a little bit of you is seen or is visible above the water, and that's basically your qualifications or your experience or what you've studied and where you worked. But what actually goes unseen is the traits, is what you are as a person that is under the water. And what better place than the social media or the internet to see what you're posting, how responsible you are posting, and what background you come from, what are your thoughts, how serious are you, and what were you doing in your earlier work, what have you been actually talking about your profession, or probably talking about your previous employers.
Hmm.
A lot can be gauged from the social media. So I feel it's the right way. And even if and what I tell to young students, young people out there, is when social media is like a double-edged dagger. So use it
Mm-hmm.
very responsibly and post pictures which actually talk about you as a person.
Great, great.
So
That's a
that's my
great tip
take
for
of
me.
that.
Although I'm not applying for any jobs, but yes, the social media holds a mirror to who you really are, and
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
got to
So
be
there was
careful.
just a recent example of one of the people who was working for me was that he would always come with this sad face in front of me and tell me that things aren't working out at his house, and like he's late for the office, and the reason is because he's had an argument with his wife the last night. He couldn't sleep, and things aren't working out, and he wanted some loan and some money to give it to her because she's very demanding. And then I would go on his social media and see that just last night he was partying with his wife, and they're dancing and they're partying and they're very happy. And every day he would come with a different story. So that's on a lighter note. But yes, social media is what we are all looking at.
All right, interesting. And another thing that a lot of people are looking at is how they can get into their own business or do their own gigs these days. Because now with work from home, people are more flexible with time and stuff like that. And since you've done both, I'd like you to tell our viewers what you think of as good business opportunities, because you set up facilities management because there were these huge mega monolithic corporate offices to cater to, which are now fast disappearing. So what would you suggest people ought to be doing to set up a side gig?
Well, I would say every business has a lifespan, you know, and the only way to do business is to understand two things: that one, is it scalable? And second thing, I think the first thing would be to understand the gap in the system and to plug that gap. And the second most important thing is how scalable can you take that business? Would you want it to just stay in the region, or a local business, or a national business, or a global business? And once you've decided on that, once you've decided on the gap in the market and how you can plug that gap and provide that particular service to the customer at the lowest rate,
Mm-hmm.
no, only then can you become successful. And having said that, that is how I started the facility management business, and that is how I could grow, because there was a gap at that time where facilities were coming up, but there was nobody to take care of the facility. And then slowly started this concept of outsourcing the entire things. But yes, a lot of things have changed since the last year. Facilities have closed down, people are scaling down.
Yeah.
And now the best thing that people should look at is adopting technology. Even
Hmm.
we are adopting technology and reducing the manpower, and of course looking at business continuity in a big way, because we've seen that last year a lot of things just stopped. A lot of interruptions were there, and we could not continue working, and the operations were
In fact,
hampered.
disruption was disrupted.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
disruption disrupted. So we've been working throughout the year to introduce a lot of technology and how we can actually now offer to our clients the same thing but in a new platter.
Right.
And that is how people should look at businesses now, as to understand from the customer's psyche, things have changed, and things won't go back to the way we were working until 2020. So that's
Hmm.
how now what technology is going to be the next big thing in whatever we do.
Perfect. So find the gap and visualize how much you want to scale right at the start, and how to adopt technology to bring the service or
Absolutely.
business to fruition.
Absolutely. It has to be a win-win now.
Great. So, viewers, if you'd like to get to implement stuff like this, you could get in touch with Ritu or with me. Both of us are on LinkedIn. Just search up and have a great day. But before that, LCSS, like, comment, share, and subscribe here. And don't forget to ring the bell so that you get notifications for every premiere that we have on this channel. See you then. Thank you so much, Ritu, and thanks, viewers.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure, Sandeep, for having me. Thank you so much once again.
Awesome.